much agrees with this man.
Look at Jerry's
He
boots.
looks
Look at
great.
Jerry's boots. Holy cow.
They're like Beetle boots.
Yeah.
George Shapiro is backstage.
Yeah.
He's got 2 cell phones working on your career.
Yeah, good.
Because he doesn't need to work on mine anymore.
That's right. You're at
No,
the top.
I'm surfing the cream. And he's arranged already a 3 Looney Tune deal.
Which is,
Yes.
I had no idea
Yeah.
he was so big
Yeah.
in the Looney
It's
Tune
not
world.
set yet with a major studio.
It's an art.
3 Looney Tunes. Yeah.
How many years have you been with George and Howie?
Next year will be 25 years.
25
true?
years.
Which is an amazing
Oh, it
thing.
is.
It's an amazing relationship of any kind, but in show business, as you know,
Yes.
which is a very, insecure business,
It's
25 years
unbelievable.
we'll be together next
Wow.
year.
What a wonderful partnership,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah,
Just
I
been
love
great.
George.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a wonderful
Yeah.
guy.
He
Really.
reminds me of you.
Really?
I think you two are going to work well together.
Yes.
And I'll be on the outside.
That's good.
And
This
I'll be
is
on
all
the
right.
outside looking in at you now.
But you don't...
There's really something, Jerry, about you that makes Regis crazy.
Really?
He is absolutely a Twitter
Isn't that
when
nice?
you are around.
But Regis and I are friends.
That's all right.
But
We go out to dinner, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I
So,
know, but I think
don't
it
know
means
why.
more to Regis than it does to you.
Well, let's get
don't
the
know
answer to
about
that
that.
right now. Let's find out just exactly how Jerry... You all know how I feel about Jerry. You bring up a good point. Let's see how Jerry feels about me. Go ahead, ask him. I'm ashamed. Ask him.
Jerry, how do you feel about Regis? Has it moved into the restraining order portion of your relationship yet?
I love Regis because Regis loves show business, like I do.
Right.
And we share that.
Yeah.
We go, isn't this great? We're just having fun, and
That's
we're
right.
big stars, and we're making all kinds of money.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Regis has 78 cents in his bank account, I just read in the paper.
I
That's
just
true.
had Jerry up to my office, you know. Up to my dressing room.
Yeah,
office.
I never went up to his office. Have
Yeah.
you ever been up there?
It's impressive, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. He's got so much crap. He says, I don't know how to get rid of it.
No, he
I said,
can't.
I'll get rid of it in 20 minutes with a snow shovel.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that, they do on 60 Minutes, they do a special on those people that have that disorder, they cannot throw things away.
Right.
And every time I see that, I say, that is Regis. Regis most certainly has that. It has gone undiagnosed, but for sure, he cannot throw anything away.
Now, I am the opposite of this. It's one of the problems that my wife and I have.
You throw everything out?
My wife likes to save things. I like to throw everything out. I will throw out jewelry, ottomans, telephones.
Children's
She'll walk
baby
in,
photos.
Oh, she'll walk in. Where's the wedding album? I thought you were done with it.
You're a neat guy.
That
huh?
was wrong. That was wrong. Because that's disrespectful.
When we come back, we're going to talk about what's in Vogue magazine, Jerry Seinfeld, and the DVD in a moment.
That was a great
That was a
episode.
classic. Boy, oh boy. Take off on the Zabruta films, huh?
Yeah, well, actually, it was Oliver Stone's
Oliver
film
Stone's
JFK.
JFK.
Not
that's
to get
right.
technical.
All right, okay. Wonderful.
But they're all classics.
They are.
Each
Well-
and every episode is a classic.
I'll trade you laughter for love. We went to see Don Rickles down in Atlantic City.
That's Don's
with
song.
he sings that song.
Sure.
It's so great. I love Don. See, Don's another guy who loves the business.
Yeah, sure.
I don't like these cranky people that they get somewhere in show business and then they whine about it. Oh, they're taking my picture, or I have to get makeup on, and crankiness.
No.
I don't have no time for the crankiness.
Don Rickles, been a star for all these years, has been with the biggest and the best, and still is very excited about working in
Yeah,
this business.
we had dinner together. Jessica and I went down there. We went with Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick, who are friends of ours.
So nice.
Isn't that exciting?
No, that is. Now,
Yeah.
but isn't it?
And
Isn't
they
it
had
true
never
in
seen-
fact
I'm sorry.
that all you New York royalty hang out together? Isn't that true? Don't
Yes,
you
it is.
all?
It
Yeah, I
is.
had a feeling.
Yes, it is.
Did you just for a minute interrupt her? Were you going to interrupt her? Watch your step, Jerry. Watch your step.
No, but go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
I don't know. They had never seen Don Rickles perform live.
Oh, you're
And,
kidding.
you know, we went down to resorts where I work also.
Sure.
Do you work at resorts?
I did for many years, yeah. And now I'm over at Taj Mahal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, resort still has that old school Vegas room.
Yes.
With the booths like Caesars used to
Exactly.
be. And we just had a great old Vegas night, and Don came in. He was hilarious.
Now, did he work on you and Matthew
Yes,
and
he
Sarah
did.
and everybody?
Yes, he did. But he traded laughter for
For
love.
love. Can you remember anything he said about you?
Yes, he chided me for acknowledging the audience a few seconds too long. You know, he introduces you, so I stand up, and he goes, all right, Jerry, sit down, that's enough. I love Don.
I do, too. All right, so in the latest issue of Vogue magazine, an inside story on Jerry Seinfeld and family. Now, look at those beautiful
Isn't that
kids and wife,
cute?
yeah.
We're
Oh,
having
boy,
fun.
yeah. Now, this must have changed your whole life, huh?
Well, because it happened overnight.
Because you were a long-time bachelor.
I got married at 45, which is, you know, a little late.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly,
But you took your time.
I had some issues.
And obviously...
No.
Let's talk about Jerry's
He was
issue.
having fun.
Are you kidding?
No, I was so involved with the show. I was really married to that show.
Yeah.
I was married to my career, and then the show. For 9 years, I ate, slept, drink, breathed that show. There was nothing else in my life.
Right.
7 days a week, but that show.
That's right.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
And then it stopped. We ended it, and then it's like, well, what do I do now? And I was lucky to meet this wonderful woman who suddenly everything made sense after I met her.
That's right. Now when you do your stand-up now, you know, you always had the observational humor about everything around
Yes.
you. Now, of course, the kids are around you, your wife is around you.
Right.
Is that what we're talking about in our stand-up now?
I do have a lot of stuff, not that much, but you know, I still have other things. I talk about all kinds of things.
Yeah.
All kinds of things.
When you were hitting Evansville, Indiana?
Yes, I was in Evansville, Indiana on Friday.
Well, you were hit.
Yeah, it was huge. Huge. People
Don
like me.
Mattingly. Don Mattingly.
Is that where he's from?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no one's gone there in so many years.
That's right. You know, Jerry Seinfeld still goes out and does his stand-up almost every weekend.
Yeah. I just love going to little towns and performing in these theaters and doing comedy.
Do you announce that you're going to be there?
No,
or
it's
do
all
you-
a secret. Well, of course I announce
Of course he announces it. What's wrong
Well,
with
when I saw his stand-up documentary on stand-up, sometimes you didn't announce.
but
You
that
would
was
just
around New
suddenly
York in making the
surprise
documentary.
People
But that
You
was-
by
don't
showing
surprise
up.
people in Evansville. That's why I have George Shapiro, so I don't
Yeah,
commit
George
career
goes there and yells
suicide
out,
like
Jerry's in town, Jerry's in town. And going into Las Vegas, into Caesar's Palace, December 26th and 27th.
But
if
it's
you'd
a
like to.
surprise.
When we come back, we are going
tell
to talk about
anybody.
this DVD. Don't go away. A little bumper there with Elaine.
Do you love the bloopers?
I do. I love the bloopers. You know, this is 3 years in the making, and there was 3 people that made this DVD. The reason it took so long, by the way, is they had to go through so much material. They had to find it first.
Right.
They had to clear it. Then they did all these interviews. And 2 guys who used to be gophers on the show, Morgan Sackett and Darren Henry, devoted 3 years to the making of this. It's 14 hours of extra material, of deleted scenes and stand-up that you never saw, and the stories about how everything got made. And these guys devoted the past 3 years, and now they're like writers and directors. And they came back to make this DVD because
that's
they
great.
love the show, and
That's
that's how
great.
it started their careers.
It was a classic. Now, I did see the first one last night, and I noticed between the first one and the second one, in the very first year, you fixed the music, you changed the music,
Yes.
and you also changed the diner. In other words, the restaurant that you ate in the very first episode with
Right.
George, a little cramped. Then you kind of opened it up and you gave yourselves booths, which were great to shoot from, right?
Do you think this is interesting? Because I don't know about you, but I'm very aware that I'm on live television right now.
Just go with him, Jerry.
All right,
with
go
him.
ahead.
Did you say we're live? And the nightclub even looked better in the second
Yeah?
one, too. You took all those lights down.
Well, they gave us a little bit of money.
Yeah. And I love that character in the second one, Alex Honeck.
Honeck.
Honeck. I
Yeah.
loved him. That's the
Honeck.
guy. Honeck.
He was the guy I had to break up with.
That's right.
Right.
Almost a lifetime friend of Jerry's, but Jerry never really cared for the guy. But then it came time for Jerry to say goodbye to this guy. And we talked about this on the show before. And the guy had a breakdown right
Yeah.
there. He didn't, it was worse than letting go of a girlfriend.
Yeah. Played by Kevin Dunn.
He's
a
terrific.
very fine actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't see him much after that.
He's around.
Is it?
You know what's so funny? It could be like the Jerry Seinfeld Regis Philbin story.
I don't think so.
No?
I
You
made
don't
notes.
think Regis will have a breakdown when you break up with him?
I made some notes. Now, in the beginning, working with Kramer, you know, the first couple of episodes, didn't
I
Kramer...
love this. You think I don't love this? I love this.
Didn't Kramer break you up a little bit? I mean, I could see you smiling and laughing.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Well, this is what you'll see on the DVD, how I could never make it through a scene with him. Because he gets up in your face like this. And he's got crazy eyes that dance around. And I, you know, I just love comedy. And he is so funny.
Oh, boy.
You can't not laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many scenes that are in the show that you've never seen. I couldn't get through that scene.
That's right. And even when the scene made it onto the air, you were still smiling, you were still laughing.
Still smiling. Did you ever see the one where he turns his apartment into a smoking club?
Yes.
And his face turned gray and we made his teeth yellow?
Yeah.
And he would say, Jerry, my looks are my life, you know? And he would get right up in my face and I would just
And the next line was, look away, I'm hideous.
Yes, that's right.
But then your conversations with George, you know? I mean, George was always doubting himself and just classic. And Elaine was fabulous.
We had a very natural chemistry.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was nothing forced. None of us were really pushing who we really are too much. I mean, Michael was really the most extreme characterization. Michael isn't like that at all. And Jason isn't really, but there's elements there.
Sure.
And Julia, there's elements. And me, certainly, I'm just acting myself. I would change from the jeans I was wearing into show jeans, which were identical. Because everybody else was changing into their wardrobe, so I wanted to change
Of course.
too.
Why not? Why shouldn't you?
So I would just put on another pair of jeans.
Now, this Thursday night over on NBC, and incidentally, I don't know what took them so long, those first 3 or 4 episodes, to me, were brilliant. Couldn't they see, outside of Rick Ludwin, none of those guys could say, make a decision on that
Well, this is the story that gets told, is how NBC, and it was great of them to actually come out and admit, we didn't get the show, we didn't understand it. It was, and I love seeing network presidents go, I don't know what's funny, and I'm in charge.
Well, this Thursday night, they're airing the Seinfeld story.
Yeah, it's not a reunion show. It's kind of a telling of the very difficult beginning that the show had. People did not understand it. We wanted to do a show about waiting in a Chinese restaurant for 20 minutes, and they said, this won't work, you can't do this, and how we fought these battles to get these things on.
Oh, God, it was just absolutely so true to life, the experiences that you showed us. Let's take a look at Jerry and the gang in action now, as you'll see them on Thursday night. Oh, boy. Well, the first 3 seasons are released today. Today is release day, right?
Today is the first day. That's why I wanted to be with you, Regis, on the first day.
Me and my Jerry right here. In the stores everywhere. Ryan Cabrera coming up next, and we'll be right back.